Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I want to show you guys 5 different teams that can defeat the Sand Devils Necropolis on stage 25. Since we got the new patch in-game, guys, the Sand Devils Necropolis actually became way more important than it was just because of the Chaos Dust. Now, probably some of you guys will be like, Skratch, isn't it the same for the Phantom Shogun? The Phantom Shogun barely give you any value, okay? So investing an insane amount of energy in the Phantom Shogun, it's a dumb thing. It's a thing that only whales and krakens will do, okay? So if you're not a whale or a kraken that spends hundreds of dollars every single week, don't even think about it, okay? This gives you barely any return, okay? Keep that in mind. The main thing that really gives you value is the Sand Devils Necropolis, because you can ascend 20% attack, 20% crit damage, crit rate, speed, etc. While the accessories, they barely give you any stats back, okay? That's my point right here. That's why I don't value the Shogun as much as the Sand Devils Necropolis, and I'm always suggesting you guys leave that till the very, very end. Now I'm gonna start with the team that I'm running, and this is honestly the fastest team in the game, and at the same time is the biggest Kraken team out of all of them, you know? It has a lot of Void legendaries, a lot of OP legendaries, and the gear requirement is pretty intense. But I'm gonna show you the stats in a second as well. Then we're gonna dive into other teams as well that don't require so many insane champions. This one right here does have a fail rate of approximately 3%, and that is when Raiho Bone Spear gets resisted on the defense down. Now, since the change of Newt's A3, this team is a bit slower than it used to be. Before, it used to be like, I can't even remember, 14 seconds all the time. It used to be like this all the time, and only 10 turns, not 11. But that changed since Newt's A3 kind of like got a bit wrecked. And overall, this is a very good team, right? Like if you're looking to speed farm this dungeon, you got the right thing right here. But overall, this is a very hard team to build. You know, it requires a lot of crazy champions. So let's start with Siphi. You need Stone Skin Siphi. You need her to be pretty tanky to ensure that she's going to survive, you know, and these are kind of like the stats that I have on my Siphi. Then Masteries honestly don't really matter that much. The next champion going will be Raiho Bone Spear. Toxic set, preferably if you have a 5-star Brimstone, will help quite a bit, or a 6-star Brimstone, of course. 550 plus accuracy, and she needs to be the second fastest in the team, okay? That's kind of like very important. But these are her total stats as well. It doesn't matter if she won't survive or anything like that, you know, but basically these are her total stats. These are her masteries. Then we have the damage dealers, which will follow. This is my Newt. He doesn't need to have the craziest stats in terms of damage because he has such a good multiplier on his enemy max HP skill. But these are the stats that I have on my Newt. I'm using him in quite a few areas. Fire Knight, Hydra, you know. Masteries, Giant Slayer as tier 6 for this bad boy. Then Acrisia, she is a bit harder to build. Now, the reason why we are using Acrisia here, guys, is because of her passive, okay? So she will survive. If the boss will use the AoE attack, Siphi, which is on Stone Skin, will survive, and Acrisia will survive because of this passive right here, okay? Decreases the damage taken from AoE attacks by 50%. Now, the only problem, her multipliers on the A2 and A3 are not as good as Newt's, okay? Like, they're far off from being as good as Newt's. So, you need to have a lot of crit damage on her if you want her to get close to hit the cap. You've seen mine, she's not even hitting the cap with all this crit damage. Okay, 326 crit damage, 255 speed, and she's still not hitting the cap. Now, hopefully, I'm going to be able to get some more crit damage on her somehow. Not sure exactly how, but it's definitely needed now since they changed the Newt, you know. And then you got to have Kymar to go the last. The build doesn't really matter on him. Blessing or anything doesn't matter either. He needs to be the slowest in the team, you know, and he is at 246 speed. But this is the build that I have on the Fire Knight, so the rest is pretty irrelevant. So this is one of the teams, you know, but this is honestly the biggest Kraken team in the game. Then let me show you something different. This has a different variation too, but we're going to get to that in just a second. It has the variation with Godseeker Aniri, which you can see right here without Acrisia. If you're fortunate enough to have Sifi, Raiho, Kaimar, Nut, and Godseeker Aniri, they still have the exact same stats. Godseeker Aniri, she is on a 2-turn stone skin at 199 speed, okay? That's the whole trick, and the positioning is very, very important here, okay? Because they will revive in a specific order, and that is key if you want to farm this boss. We're going to check if this still works, actually, because now that they changed Nut's A3, I mean, it should still work, because he's the main damage dealer here. I'm just going to have to change the build on a Godseeker Aniri after I'm showing you the other teams. And we're going to come back to this team as last. This is going to be bonus, guys. This is going to be team number 6 or 7, because we're going to go over quite a few different teams. Then I have this team right here that I want to show you. Now, I'm not going to be able to build every single one of these teams, guys, because it's completely going to make a massive mess on my account. But I have videos on all these teams from the past. Nothing changed. They still work exactly like the same. So this team right here that I'm showing you, ignore the stats. The stats are not what you need, but I'm going to show you that in a second. This team right here is pretty gear intensive. This as well is not something that you're going to be able to build as a newcomer to the game. It's not like you're building Godseeker Aniri with Ninja or something like that, where you just, okay, one regeneration set and problem solved, you know. It's not like that. You need to have quite a few different sets of gear in order to build these champions and them to survive on all of the hits except the big AoE. Mother Cybele cannot be booked in here, okay? She has no books. If you have books in Mother Cybele, this is not working anymore, okay? And Raiho needs to be pretty tanky. Now, initially, when I had this team back in the day, I didn't had Brimstone on nobody. Now with Brimstone, it will definitely be quite a bit of a change. Having even a Soul Rip on one of my champions here can be pretty beneficial. And I used to run this with double Septimus because we had no Nut. But let me just quickly show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the very first one right here. Speedrun, 100% win rate, Sand Devils Necropolis, stage 25. This is the team with Mother Cybele. I'm going to link all of these teams in the pinned comment, okay? And in the description, so you guys can go, click on it, and it will bring you to this video where you're going to find all the information that you need about this team in terms of stats and everything else, especially the presets too. So the lead, the positioning of the champions is very, very important. Now, if you're taking one Septimus out of here and bringing a Nut, this team will still work exactly as was working with double Septimus, okay? Just Nut deals damage like 3 Septimus in one, basically. So if you have double Nut and Raiho and Mother Cybele, you're basically just destroying this dungeon, you know? So that's one thing to keep in mind. This team has some different variations, but we're going to discuss about the variation that I have in this video today, because that's kind of like what I want to show you, you know. And how I mentioned, we do have some presets which will be very, very important. I'm going to let you see the presets, and I'm going to show you a run and everything in terms of stats and the gear and the things that you need, you're going to find in this video. And Mother Cybele needs to be on a Guardian set to try and keep the other champions alive, you know. But you see, Raiho, she's pretty tanky. 76k HP, and she was like 4k defense. Mother Cybele, Septimuses, and Armigers are pretty tanky too. The good part about these three, they're spirit champions. The boss cannot crit on them, so it will be easier to keep them alive. You don't need to build them with 100% crit rate. You only need to have 85 crit rate for all of the spirit champions that you are using on stage 25. And is basically prioritizing their skills and having the right preset on the champions. The speeds need to be very, very precise. If you're playing around with 2, 3, 4, 5 speeds up and down, this team will not work. I'm still explaining you because it's kind of like a thing that you basically need to know, you know. So let's crack on it with one of the runs right here, so you see how it works. And it's pretty straightforward. Mother Cybele will heal Raiho. It will give her Thermiter. Raiho, she's pretty slow. So there you go. revive on that. Termiter to Raiho, healing. Raiho puts the debuffs. Then you have Septimus, Mother Cybele, and you have Armiger. Now, this team will not fail if Raiho doesn't land defense down one time. This will fail if Raiho doesn't land defense down 2-3 times in a row. That's when the team it will fail. But if you have Brimstone instead, that will make up for it. That will probably make up for it, honestly. And I think it can definitely be pretty interesting with Newt instead of one of the Septimus, you know? Because Newt hits 490 3 times, while Septimus does it once, you know? So by now, we were already taking the boss down with the double hits from Newt. This was done in under a minute, you know? I will have to probably try at some point to build it on the test server when it's gonna open, and I'm gonna try to do different variations. I wish I would have had the test server today because I was gonna build them all. I don't care if I make a mess there. But with the Cursed series right now and all these things that I need to change gear is literally... That's how I feel, honestly. It's just taking so much time, you see? 1 minute and 16 seconds. This is kind of like the average time. But of course, Armiger doesn't always hit the cap. Because, yeah, he doesn't have such good multipliers. If you have a Brimstone, if you have a Newt in here, my god, it's a completely different game, you know, like you're farming this boss much easier. But Mother Cybele cannot be tomed, guys, cannot be booked, so make sure you're not booking your Mother Cybele, because that will be an issue. So this is kind of like how the team looks, and it's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna pin the link from the video in the description down below and in the pinned comment so you guys can find this team. But this is one of them that's actually pretty interesting. And right here we have the most recent fusion. He can actually solo it, Blizzar, but he can only solo it if you have a 5-star or a 6-star Brimstone. Without that, he will not be able to solo it. I will show you the stats on this. We're actually gonna do a run too. So this will work with food. You need to have food in here. Currently, the game has some issues with the presets and the multi-battles, so make sure you are aware of that. This has a preset too. He's not allowed to use the A3, only A1, A2, A1, A2 basically. And the way we're killing the boss is with Brimstone. And this actually gave me a few different ideas that I'm gonna show you in just a second. But let's actually give it a run. He should be having full gear. Hopefully, I haven't removed anything from him. And you lose the food. He gains speed from masteries, and then he has this passive, which basically will put revive on that on the champion, you know. And from here on, slowly and surely, we're just kind of like getting back on track. The good part is that we are Spirit Affinity with this champion too, and because we are Spirit Affinity, we are getting a lot of weak hits, so that will not decrease our HP by a big amount like is gonna happen with Godseeker Aniri, for example. And Brimstone is literally the only thing that is really doing the damage here, you know. That's about it. Brimstone is melting the boss slowly. So you see 43 seconds in, and we almost took 50% of the HP. Now, if I would have a 6-star Brimstone on any of my Spirit champions, my god, you could do Godseeker Aniri with pretty much whatever Spirit champion that has 6-star Brimstone. Honestly, that's how simple it is. But you need to have a 6-star Brimstone on a Spirit Legendary champion. It doesn't matter if it does HP burn, poisons, or whatever else it might do. Not at all. All that matters is to have that 6-star Brimstone because it will melt the boss, okay? All the time proccing that is gonna be an easy peasy, you know? Like how you notice right here, 367k per hit with Brimstone, which is definitely extremely effective against this dungeon, you know. Look at that. Bang, another hit. He's gaining back some of the HP slowly. And this goes kind of like 2 minutes and a bit. If you're getting if you're not landing the Brimstone a few times in a row, that will probably slow you down a bit. But if you're landing the Brimstone most of the times, you're gonna be like at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, something like that, you know. And the good part is that he is alone, unlike Godseeker Aniri with another champion. So he's actually gonna be able to do it much better than them, just for the simple fact that you don't have so many animations, okay? So that's very, very important, you know. You don't have so many animations. And I forgot to show... actually, I showed you the stats on my first team. I was like, have I showed you the stats on the first team or no? So there you go. Blizzar soloing stage 25, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. But you need the 5-star Brimstone or maybe 6-star Brimstone if you have something like that available. And this is the build that I have on him. Regeneration. And I have a Perception set. Yes, probably it will work better with Defiant set. He will get even less damage. But it's going to be a bit harder to get the accuracy. So these are the stats, and he cannot be booked, okay? Do not book Blizzar. No, no, no. No books. He doesn't need them, okay? If you put books, I don't think he's going to work anymore. That's another thing to keep in mind, you see? I have some books in here, but this did not decrease the cooldown of any of the skills, you know? And basically, this is what enables us to do what we do. The passive. But it needs to have a 4-turn cooldown. And actually, probably doesn't need to have the 4-turn cooldown. Revives them. So I don't necessarily... it's maybe because of the revive on that buff on them for 1 turn. But it doesn't make sense because anyway, we're gonna lose that one instantly when we revive. So I guess it's fine if this is on a 3-turn cooldown. Probably this skill will affect it, you know, because of the increased defense, and you're gonna use it more often than you're supposed to, and you're not using the A1 as often. That might be a thing, and that might mess up Brimstone. I think that might be the issue. But don't book him, basically. Do not book him. And these are the masteries. We have offense and support tree. War Master will bring a bit of extra damage, so we're going to farm the boss faster. Of course, you can get Eagle Eye if you need extra accuracy. Not a problem whatsoever. Let's move over to the next team. Why is it not taking me back from where I came from, man? Like, it's so annoying when you just gotta go click, click, click. So right now, guys, that was team number 3. I do want to talk about team number 4, okay? And team number 4 is Godseeker Aniri. Now, this version, because there are 3 different variations of Godseeker Aniri, okay? This is the one where you have a 5-star blessing. So the speed needs to be roughly around 194. You do this with food, and it works very good with champions like Ninja. It works very good with champions that have HP burn and Brimstone, or it works very good with any other champion that has a 6-star Brimstone. It doesn't matter what sort of affinity they have, okay? Doesn't matter at all. And the reason why it works good with that, because you're gonna land Brimstone every time, and that's how you're gonna slowly kill the boss. Now, there is a bit of a concern right here, because if I'm trying with a 5-star Brimstone, I'm gonna show you what happens in a second. But let's actually first go in and show you that you don't need Ninja, and you can replace Ninja with different champions like Tumesia, which we're using right here. You can use different champions like Artak, for example, if you have him, of course. Everybody should have Artak that is trying to do stage 25, more or less. So he was a free champion, okay? This bad boy right here. I'm not sure why I cannot click on him, but there we go. Artak, he's a good option too. And then just different champions like Krognam, the champion that you can get from the referral program. He's gonna do an amazing job. So you have quite a few different options. But for this one, we do have a bit of a preset too, and that is to make sure that Tumesia only prioritizes the A1, you know. It doesn't matter if she's using this. Usually she's dead, you know. So the way it will work is that she'll die a lot, and Godseeker Aniri is constantly going to revive her. Like this. Bang, HP burn. Dead. And then she comes back, HP burn. The thing with Brimstone, once you land it, it has a 4-turn cooldown. Now, if she would take extra turns, for example, in between the time when she dies, she will attempt maybe to land the Brimstone when we cannot put it. And that will proc the passive, and that will mess up the entire cycle for Brimstone. That's a broken thing that honestly is so annoying that it happens in here. But if you have a 6-star Brimstone, that will never be the case. And then you will want to have slightly more speed than I have on her, and go a couple of extra turns every now and then, and that will basically reset the cooldown of Brimstone faster. But for that, you need to have a 6-star Brimstone to ensure that when you have the chance to land it, you're gonna land it, and that will be problem solved. I only have 3 champions at 6-star right now, which is Warlord, Taras, and Marichka, and I'm not putting Brimstone on them, you know. I'm just giving you guys some ideas that you can do this, and I'm 99.99% that you can do it, okay? And I don't see any reasons why it will not work, for example, you know. But we are 1 minute in, and we took 50% of the boss's HP down so far, you know. Once Godseeker Aniri dies, she's going to revive again. Bang, HP burn, Brimstone, drop in some more damage. Bang. Now, the thing here is that you need to have Miracle Heal Blessing on Godseeker Aniri if you want her to work at this speed, fully booked, with food. Now, there are different options where Godseeker Aniri can run with food at different speed, but not fully scrolled, okay? Not fully booked, not fully tomed. And unfortunately, I don't have another Godseeker Aniri to play around with books and try to make one of those variations. I'm pretty convinced that Seth might have a video on one of them. If no, I think either Bronco, either somebody else. I'm trying to think who else might have that. I'm actually gonna look for a video, and I'm gonna pin that in the comment as well, guys, so you guys can find it, you know, just in case if you are curious to see something else. But right here, you see Miracle Heal is basically allowing us to recover some of the destroyed HP. The boss destroys HP with every single strong hit, crit hit that it does to our champion. And because of it, that will actually decrease the HP quite a bit on our Godseeker Aniri. And that can be a bit of a problem, you know. It's not as fast as running this with Ninja, of course. If you have Ninja, this would be much, much faster. It would be much better. With Ninja, you farm this super fast. But I would expect that most people that already have Ninja, okay, that have Ninja, not already, they already have a team for this, okay? And probably you're already running Ninja. The thing when the run goes so long as it goes right now is that Godseeker Aniri, she's closer to that every now and then, you know. Now, Tumesia can be replaced by any other legendary champion in the game that can put HP burn and has a Brimstone, a 5-star Brimstone, okay? That will actually allow you to defeat this boss in a fairly decent time. Now, the main issue right here, guys, is that if you don't have Brimstone and you only have HP burn and Godseeker Aniri runs at this speed, the boss will cover a lot of ground and he will destroy more and more and more HP on her, and she will die eventually. And that's because you won't kill the boss in time. It's going to take you a very long time to kill the boss, and that will cause you issues. Keep that in mind. It's very, very important. Now, I do want to show you a couple of different things before we're going to move over to the other team. And let me just quickly go right here to preset, because I wanna change something. So we're going to take you out. Recently used first, and we're gonna bring her in. She doesn't have HP burn. She only has a 5-star Brimstone. So I tried to see if I could potentially play with something like that, just with a 5-star Brimstone. The main thing that I have, the main issue that I have here basically is that is only 60% chance to land, and because it's 60% chance to land, this will cause me issues. Okay. So let's go in the run, so you guys see how it's going to work. For this to work, basically we will need our champion with Brimstone to have 6-star Brimstone and to be a bit faster. I had her faster before, and I removed the speed just to give it a go with a different variation to see if I can keep the Brimstone on a 4-turn cooldown and to try to land it all the time after she revives. But sometimes, because we are not consistent enough to land the Brimstone, Godseeker Aniri will die, you know. That's the whole thing. The boss will just cover so much ground on her, and it will destroy so much HP that she will not be able to recover. You see, again, we haven't landed the Brimstone, and she's constantly dying. So the champion with the 6-star Brimstone is constantly dying, which is fine. That's what you want. you don't want that champion to stay alive for too long, you know. And you can make it work in such a way that you're gonna have the Brimstone on a cooldown, on a Fortin cooldown, and constantly landed. Now it's a bit harder right here, how you may notice, because that's one of the issues why we're not landing the Brimstone too, is because she's not getting her cooldown back in time. And every now and then, when she's getting the cooldown, it's just not fast enough, okay? Because it's like already 1 minute and 18 seconds, and we barely dropped any damage. So that's the issue that a lot of you guys will encounter right here. You see, we landed Brimstone finally because we got the cooldown, but it's so slow to get that done. It probably takes us like 7 or 8 minutes to do it with a 5-star Brimstone, okay? It's just not efficient enough. With a 6-star Brimstone, it will be much better because you can basically give your champion that has a 6-star Brimstone 40 more speed, you know, 40 more speed, and then she's gonna take 2 turns every now and then, and she will proc the cooldown much faster, allowing you to land that Brimstone much faster than we are doing it right now. So this is an idea, guys. I don't have, how I mentioned, any 6-star Brimstone champions on my account, unfortunately, so I cannot show you that, but I'm 99.99% that you can definitely make something like that work. Let me just quickly show you the stats that we had on the other champions. So this is my Godseeker Aniri that we used before. She does need to have pretty tanky stats with a 5-star blessing, honestly. And if you have a 6-star on her, it's actually better because she's going to recover more HP. But 74k HP, 4.9k defense, 194 speed. That's pretty much what matters. Regeneration and Defiant. These are the masteries that we have on. You cannot have anything that gives you Thermeter or a cooldown decrease because that will mess everything up. So the masteries need to be very, very precise. And this is how it goes as at tier 6, basically. You're getting more HP. Just in case if you were curious, and sorry, I forgot to show you Tumesia. So she's just built for damage. She's not really built for this. I just gave her a lot of accuracy. So that's basically what stats we have on Tumesia. 216 speed, 525 accuracy. That's what matters basically. And we have no masteries. If you would have masteries, you can get Sniper. That will increase the chance to land Brimstone by 5%, you know, which will be pretty beneficial. Now, if we're changing Godseeker Aniri to the faster version, okay, and I'm gonna link more videos for all of these teams. Even though I showed them to you right here, I'm still gonna link you videos, okay? So this is one. I'm gonna link you a video for this with Ninja. I use Tumesia right now, but that's with Ninja, or you can use Artak if you want. The thing with Ninja is that he's magic against force, okay? So that means that you can use magic champions on Affinity Breaker. So that's a thing that you're gonna find out in that video. Then this right here is what we're gonna build right now, 267 speed. And this works with different characters that can survive, okay? So it's very, very important to have characters that will be able to survive because she is fully booked. How I mentioned, there are different variations where Godseeker Aniri will have less cooldowns on her skills, and then you're gonna be able to basically use food in a team with this that has a Godseeker Aniri at this speed, you know. But I haven't played around with that, so I can't really give you the details for it, you know. And this is as well. This is for Blizzar. If you guys wanna find out more info about that, I'm gonna link you that video as well, you know. But let's quickly change the build on Godseeker Aniri and go to 267 speed. You need over 265 to be faster than the boss. Same masteries. You don't want to mess around with masteries either. The only thing that it will change there is that the boss will be overlapped by Godseeker Aniri, so she will actually have the cooldowns on point this time around there. So we need to up some of those pieces, including that one. So let's change that too, and should have one with 22 speed. Where are we so far? 248, and I feel like helmet is good. Probably I'm looking at changing the weapon only, maybe. Will that give me all the the things that I need. And where are we? Let's see. 269, perfectly. And I still have slightly better stats than in that video in terms of defense, but I have less HP actually. Now for this tour, guys, we need a champion like Drang, okay? So Drang, his Spirit Affinity. HP-based champion. He will have no issue to survive in there. Of course, not on this build. I will need to give him regeneration, and I'm quickly gonna do that, guys. That's why I'm not trying to play around with other teams that I know I won't be running, because it's just making such a big mess. It's actually insane. Such a big mess to change all this. The good part is that he does need regeneration, right? He doesn't need to be extremely tanky, because if he's extremely tanky, he's not going to die on the AoE, you know. Sometimes it happens when he doesn't die on the AoE, and that can be a problem after, you know. It will mess up the entire cycle, because he will die after. And then Godseeker Aniri will attempt to revive, and yeah, you're gonna have issues right there. Something with accuracy. I don't need to have so much speed. 414. Let's get an accuracy banner on him. If you have 5-star Brimstone on Drang, is actually amazing. It will be much faster than what you're about to see right now in the video, just so you guys are aware of that. And how I mentioned, this, if you're doing the variation with Godseeker Aniri not being fully scrolled, fully booked, then you can potentially play around and make something where you can run another Spirit champion with Brimstone, okay? But that's something that will be a bit more complicated, most probably. So let's go by rank, find Drang, because I haven't used Drang in probably two centuries, you know. There we go. And you still want to keep the exact same positioning. Now, Drang has a preset, and he's not using this skill, okay? And he's always using this. Now, Drang, he's nice because he's gonna put HP burn, and with the A1, he's gonna detonate the other one. And you gotta have a Sniper Master Hexer on him to increase the duration of debuffs every now and then. And that will be very helpful. Now, this cannot work with food. If you have food, Godseeker Aniri is gonna revive the food. That's the one thing to keep in mind. Okay, so here we go. HP burn. Bang, activating, and slowly we're taking the boss down. This takes approximately 4 to 5 minutes, guys, okay? 4 to 5 minutes. Maybe my Drang is not tanky enough right now, and he might get smacked. I'm not 100% sure. I guess we're gonna find that out. So 30 seconds, and we took this much down. So kind of like do the math. It will take probably like 4 or 5 minutes per run. It's not the most efficient one, but if you're trying to get only a few materials, guys, to kind of like organize your best pieces of gear that you have available, you're trying to reroll them to get that extra attack or crit damage on your champions, is actually not the worst idea to run the team, you know, if you're trying to do stage 25. Unfortunately, there are not many options for this dungeon. You can potentially use some crazy tanky teams with champions like Duchess and other things like that. But honestly, they're so gear intensive, guys. Similar with the very first team that I showed you, that it's pointless to even attempt to recreate Duchess with I don't know, with other damage dealers. You know, it's just not going to work very, very nice. I wasn't sure if I have masteries on him, but I've just seen the HP burn for 3 turns. The more you get it for 3 turns, the better, because you're gonna drop the HP faster on the boss, you know. And seems like he does have enough survivability, my Drang. Okay. Oh, and we landed a Brimstone, which will get the cleansed though, so it's pointless. It's pointless. But there we are, 2 minutes, and we almost took 50% of the HP with Drang. Unfortunately, there are not that many Spirit HP burn champions in the game to be legendary too, to have the chance to put a Brimstone, and not just that, but to be tankier, you know. I thought about using champions like, I don't know, like Mordecai or Even the new Void Epic from the Skinwalkers, they just don't seem to work, guys. They will have a lot of failures, and I just don't wanna. I don't wanna show you teams that will fail 30, 40, 50% of the time just to be able to, aha, I've done that, you know. It's not what we do here on the channel, you know. So I'm not even gonna bother to put teams like that up, you know. But this would kind of like make 5 teams. I did mention that I'm gonna show you the 6th team with Godseeker and Aniri. That was initially made by a clanmate of mine, and then it spread like a wildfire from what we've seen because of the optimizer. You know, people people managed to take the team from there, and then they managed to figure it out. If I remember it correctly, I think Big D was the first one to run that team. Yeah, with Godseeker and Aniri on Stoneskin reviving the other ones and kind of like doing the order of the champions. That was a pretty interesting one. So 3 minutes and 26, we're not looking too bad. If you would have 5 or 6 star Brimstone, this would be like 2 minutes. 2 minutes and a bit. That's how fast it will be, because he is kind of like the next best option for this. Crognam, the champion that you're gonna get from the referral program, which I haven't got yet, on an Affinity Breaker set, he's gonna be, I think, the 2nd best after Ninja. Yeah, I think he's gonna be the best after Ninja, just because of the way he puts the HP burn and detonates it, you know. But there we go. Even Sulfurian could maybe work on the other build with the Godseeker and Aniri slow, because you put HP burn, you detonate it, let Sulfurian die, you know. But I'm not sure if we're gonna kill that boss in time like that. I don't think we will without Brimstone. But there we go. This is what, 4 minutes and a bit. We still need to put 1 more HP burn. The boss refuses to die right now. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna stay a bit longer here. We're gonna stay here a bit longer. Okay, put that HP burn and send this bastard to sleep. There we go. 4 minutes and 41 seconds. 201 turns, and drank 4.8 million damage. How I mentioned, 5-star, 6-star blessing on him would be absolutely game-changing. Now, I do want to show you guys the final team, which will be the 6th team, and that will be this one right here. For whoever is curious, I'm quickly going to change the build on Godseeker and Aniri. If I remember it correctly, Godseeker and Aniri was just double stone skin at 199 speed or something like that. And let's quickly get it organized. I shouldn't be too complicated to build this, you know. You want to make her fairly tanky, I would say, too, because that will help. Why not? That's a good one right there. So I think I should put the feeding room. It's gonna be easier to kind of like pick the speed up, you know. Look at that tankiness, my god. That's a nice shield, guys. I wonder where I got it from. Ah, I got it from Hydra, everyone's favorite game mode. So let's put that shield, then gloves, defense HP. That can be good too. So this gives us speed. We have speed boots, right? So we gotta change that. Actually, we have speed boots. We're gonna have to change that. Okay, so let's use this with speed on. And this one. And then I need boots that will give me some speed. This makes me lose too much. So do I have anything a bit better? That's 30. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna use that one with 30, or this one 29. No, just use this one with 30. And I'm gonna look to get more speed from the top. I basically need like 10 more speed or so. 9 more speed is not even 100% sure that you need that much more speed. It's just kind of like just to be safe. I can't really remember 100%. That's what I had before on her, so I'm just trying to basically reproduce what I had to make sure that we don't have any issues, you know. So 195. I think that should work too. I see no reason why it shouldn't. So double stone skin set, right? You need to have her fairly tanky, and basically the positioning of the champions is very important, but I'm going to explain you that while the run goes. And how you may notice, you've seen the stats on these champions already, okay? So Kymar will open with this skill. Raiho will open with the A2, but then she will prioritize the A3. Sifi will open with the A1. Newt will prioritize the A3. Godseeker and Aniri will prioritize this, but that's not going to be very, very important. So check this out. Kymar needs to be in the lead because he needs to revive from Godseeker and Aniri's passive, okay? So look at this. Bang, bang, back. We do that. Bang, bang, bang. Check that out. Bang. Godseeker and Aniri revives Kymar with the passive. Bang like that. Godseeker and Aniri revives Newt. Bang, bang, bang. And there you go. Just like that. This is kind of like a bit of a puzzle, you know? It's like putting the pieces in the right place. So this was team number 6, guys. Hopefully I haven't made this video too long because I kind of like lost the track of time here. I showed you quite a few different options that you might have on the board. This is a pretty good team too. This doesn't really fail unless Raiho decides to screw you over a lot with the defense down. That can happen, guys, and is nothing that we can do about that 3% chance. If you don't have Raiho Bone Spear, either for this team, either for the team I showed you before, the very first team that I'm using, you can use Ramantu instead. Ramantu brings 4 debuffs. Put him on a Toxic set. If you have a Brimstone 2, it's going to be even better. And like that, you're going to be able to replace Raiho, and the champions will still do as much damage. The reason why you need champions like this is to bring in a lot of debuffs on the boss, because that will increase the damage. But that was all for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.